Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a clip, and then I'm gonna ask you a question after the clip.
Is this something that's gonna make me blush?
Oh.
So my question is, do you think she has any kids?
Well, I hope she doesn't.
Why?
Oh my God.
I guess when you see a sexualized image, you're not supposed to think about how many children does she have. It's just not what we've been taught to think.
If I saw this on TV out of context, no.
Similar to him, if I just seen this without context, without you showing me this, I would have assumed she was childless.
I mean, there's nothing about this video that would indicate whether she does or doesn't have kids.
Kind of a weird question, right? But we learned a couple significant things. One, I look way better with short hair, and two, motherhood and sexual imagery don't really seem to correlate, do they?
Who the hell are you talking to?
Hey, I'm Adriana. I'm 27 years old, and the older I get, the more I think about becoming a mom.
No. No, you don't want to be a mom.
I get this feeling that if I were to become a mom, I wouldn't have the same permission from society to be as sexually expressive as I am right now. Do I really have to choose between being a mom and being a sexual being? Fortunately, I know just the person to ask. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Do you think moms can be sexy?
Most definitely.
You worked while you were pregnant, right?
Yes, up until the 9th month.
For both?
Both times,
Were there people that wanted you to play it up?
Yeah, there was a couple of people that just thought it was really sexy to be a pregnant woman dominating them. It is. I feel like a woman is in her most powerful state when she's pregnant.
Why do you think there are some mothers who find themselves unsexy?
I think it's a common habit for moms to not put themselves first. They put their children first, they put their families first. If she makes that choice to say, you know what, I'm tired of putting myself last, I'm gonna put myself first on the priority list now, I'm gonna take care of myself. And actually, if she takes care of herself first, she'll be a better mother.
How would you suggest a mother who does not have an erotic profession learn how to tap back into that?
She needs to have a desire to develop that feminine sexuality, to develop it and express it. Practice, intentionally channel it, and it doesn't have to be, you know, alone at night. It could be throughout the day. Are you walking sexy? Most of the time, you don't really have a consciousness of that. But, you know, as a dominatrix, I'm conscious of the way I'm walking. Make the intention, hey, I'm sexy. So I'm gonna walk sexy, I'm gonna talk sexy. You'll be able to express it easier because it's there. I think it's been a blessing for me to have stayed in this profession all through, giving birth and having children and continuing to be a mother, because I stay connected to my whole self as a woman. My whole womanhood is there. I'm balanced. You know, I'm not forgetting that I have an erotic feminine side.
Is the interview over?
I didn't give you permission to speak.
So sorry, mistress.
Hey, Adriana.
Hi.
So how's your video?
Good. I've already interviewed a couple people.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so this is a crazy idea, but I think we can spice up your video a little bit more with an arc. Like a try thing, but like, you know, something a little bit more like stakes, you know?
You want me to like get pregnant or something?
I mean, that would be a good idea.
That was some damn useful information. It was enlightening when Mistress Damiana said that her profession allowed her to keep her sexuality accessible throughout her womanhood. My only question is, what about the women who don't get to dress up in leather and ball bust for a living? Cheers, down, drink.
Oh, you're going for it. Oh, I can't do that.
So, you're a mom.
I'm a mom. Most people assume, like at my son's school and stuff, their first thought is that I'm the nanny.
Do people do that like?
Well, you don't even look like a mom though.
All the time. A lot of the stuff I have done has gone against what's considered normal. I have colored hair, I have tattoos. Yeah, I think people just assume that I don't have kids, and when they find out, they're like,
shook.
It used to be that the thought was your purpose is to have children, and then when you have children, you are a wife and a mother, and that's it. And you should look this way because that's what your husband wants. I cared so much what other people thought. I had 2 kids. I'm like holding it together by
very, very old Velcro.
And I don't care what anybody else thinks. More and more women are breaking the mold of what's expected. Moms have hobbies, they have lives outside of their children, which is huge for maintaining any sort of identity. It maintains your sanity.
I worry that I would just like lose myself in it, in the family dynamic and being a mom.
I mean, it definitely bogs you down. It enriches your life. I love you kids. It is my son's birthday today. For me, I realize that I'm happiest when I work. When we have that time apart and I have this whole identity outside of motherhood, that's my career and my job. For me, that's what strengthened our relationship and it strengthened our bond because I have my time to do my stuff and do the things that I'm really passionate about, and then I can come home to my kids and spend quality time. So I think realizing that a healthy mom has healthy kids and a happy mom has happy kids, and part of being a happy mom is taking care of yourself and doing things for yourself. I feel like after lots and lots of effort, it's possible to have a healthy balance, and it's possible to still keep some priorities that you had before you had kids.
Yeah.
Just takes time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
about
me.
this. So in order to preserve my sexuality throughout motherhood, really what I should do is maintain my identity outside of motherhood overall. That's a priority I can honor. We can't really discuss motherhood without bringing up the OG mama that prevails throughout Western culture and the societal context of her time. You know her. She's Jewish. She's a Christian icon, and she looks great in blue. The Virgin Mary. Thank you, Professor Bitel, for joining me.
I'm happy to be here.
Was there an emphasis on women, particularly, and their chastity?
I mean, as far as Christianity goes, it colluded with prevailing social organization and whatever people knew of science and medicine. People generally believed that women were weaker, both in body and in spirit and mind, than men. So in other words, they were more prone to indulge themselves. If you add that to the fact that families wanted to be sure children came from the father of the family as well as the married mother of the family, then you get a restrictive kind of sexuality imposed on women.
So it's political.
Political, social, religious, everything combined to form this, this position for women.
How did the Virgin Mary come into play with sort of becoming this idealistic representation of motherhood?
People didn't really pay much attention to her until 300s, 400s.
So here's the deal. There was a lot of theological debate while creating Christian doctrine circa 4th century CE. Theologians eventually decided that Christ was both part human and part divine. This meant that Mary had to be pure in order to give miraculous birth to the divine.
So it's like the early Middle Ages when they get all this worked out. It all sort of placed Mary in the position of not only Jesus' mother, but also like a super saint, and also as a sort of maternal figure, a queenly maternal figure to everyone, all Christians. Human civilization has been a patriarchy since who knows when. We're still fighting it. So, you know, the best you can do is when you do become a mother, raise your kids up knowing this stuff so they don't let, you know, the idiocy continue.
Great. I love that. Don't let the idiocy continue.
Right.
So women's sexual restriction was rooted in the fact that the patriarchy believed that women were an out-of-control sex that needed to keep our legs shut for the sake of men's legacies. And if the biggest mother figure within our culture is considered a virgin, you can start to understand how sex and motherhood are kind of considered bad. Well, what the f? How are we supposed to break out of this narrative? And after speaking with Professor Bitel and Mistress Damiana, I learned that these societal expectations were fabricated at the very least hundreds of years ago and can feasibly go f themselves. I don't have to choose. I can be both a good parent and a woman who gives as good as she gets. Cheers.
Too many questions.
I'll work on that, Mistress.
Yeah. Shorter next time.
Shorter.
Shorter. I need a shorter interview. I don't have time for this.